To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion.
Hey everybody, welcome to the FUNKO Cartel podcast. We're here tonight live to review NXT in your house for 2021. This is our fourth take, so forgive us. We're like the four horsemen here. That's Brandon over there, David on the left. Hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications.
Four horsemen with three people.
Listen to me. We need you, okay?
We're off the rails tonight.
Struggle is real.
Yeah.
It's been a weekend with the E3 stuff.
The first three takes we took, I could not get the intro right. The fourth take, actually the third take, we didn't have the mic turned on in my part. I did. That's my bad.
We.
Yeah,
you did.
Me.
You.
And now we're on take 4. So yeah. So it's been a night, ladies and gentlemen.
The struggle is real.
I blame E3 and
I know.
Yeah, it's been a long day. We've been doing a lot of E3 coverage.
We've been recording all day today.
Yeah. So luckily we didn't get too far into the review before we decided we had to go start over. So in that case, awesome. All right, so NXT Takeover started off with Naomi Fox performed a song to open the show. It was basically a song, introducing us to In Your House. Former WWE backstage interviewer Todd Pettengill is the host of the show. He announced the largest guest. Yeah, Todd Pettengill was great on this show. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
I am unaware of him.
Yeah, he's a little before your time.
He was before my time.
Yeah, but he was one of the guys who used to originally host In Your House back in the day, all the old classics. He announced the largest gathering of fans yet in the Capitol Wrestling Center, which we mentioned was about 300 fans from what we could understand online.
Yes,
not the greatest crowd, but it's the first crowd back since
300. Like we said before, it was probably what they were allowed max for right now.
Oh yeah.
And 300 is better than none.
Absolutely.
And those 300 people there.
I mean, the people right now in NXT are probably a cakewalk for them.
Yeah. I mean,
even the bigger crowds are a cakewalk at this point for a lot of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll take it at this point. It's been a year without any people.
Probably. Well, yeah. Probably
300 better than zero.
Nostalgic.
And I get it. You can say people would attack AEW if they only had 300 fans, so we should be able to. Attack. But at the same time, right now, just chill.
You better be happy with what you get.
Let's just be happy we have it. The first match was great. It was a winner-take-all match for the NXT North American Championship and the NXT Tag Team Championships. Bronson Reed and MSK defending their titles against Legado del Fantasma. This was outstanding, and the crowd being here obviously made this even better.
Great opener.
Yeah, great opener. One of the outside of the main event I mentioned, and one of our other takes that didn't work, that it was the best match of the night outside of the main event, in my opinion. And I think it still holds true now, a few minutes later. But
like I said before, Bronson Reed is a big dude.
Oh yeah,
very big.
But what I wanted to say too about don't want to not give credit where credit is due. MSK is this young tag team, and they are phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
like legitimately phenomenal. And I ain't taking nothing away from El Fantasma.
Legado del Fantasma. Yeah,
I just call them
whatever they are. LDF. Say that. LDF.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
So you put 6 guys in the ring together, and it was great.
It was. Yeah.
Hands down, it was great.
Yeah, and the ending of this match saw Escobar grabbing a title belt at ringside, but was blindsided with a running splash from Reed that sent him through the barricade. This was brutal, but as we started to talk about in our other recording, this was shot in such a way where it looked absolutely real. And everything, even though it was probably a breakaway barricade, it looked like it was not. Shot very well, and it didn't look fake at all. So kudos to the production team and all that. And hopefully every wrestling company can get that down at some point. This led to a Mendoza dive that was cut off with a super kick. Then MSK hit an assisted blockbuster. Reed pulled the straps down and hit the tsunami splash to win and retain the titles for both him and the MSK team here. This looked like it sucked for whoever took the splash. I can't remember who it was.
It was Mendoza.
Was it? Okay. So, yeah.
Mendoza took it.
Horrible landing for him, but a great splash nonetheless and a great match to open up the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, no thank you whatsoever. But, yeah, absolutely great opener. Kyle O'Reilly was interviewed earlier today saying it was a good day for a fight. Johnny Gargano and The Way arrived at the same time, goading O'Reilly into a fight outside of the parking lot and forced officials and William Regal to break it up. And if I had a nickel for every time William Regal had to break up a fight, I'd be a millionaire. So
listen, the one person in this world in wrestling I would not want to be this whole week leading up to this pay-per-view is William Regal.
Was Regal. Yeah.
This is the first time I think in the inception of NXT becoming what it is that Regal has lost control the way he has.
Yeah. Yeah, which is played into the storyline. And Brandon called this. We want to make sure we gave him credit for
Yeah.
that. He called this
I
a
did.
week or so ago, talking about that this could lead to a larger storyline, and clearly it is. They listened to our show, and they took our advice. So, yeah, right.
Hey man, I
Here's
want
the thing.
royalties for this.
Like I said when we talked about this, when I say William Regal's losing control, and it's time for him to step back or whatever, this is not in any way a slight towards William Regal. William Regal has a great career, a
He's
long
been at it
career,
forever.
and he's been a staple point in NXT for a long time.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And I honestly feel like if the man is like, listen, I'm done. I got nothing left in the tank. It's not that he doesn't love the kids he's working with or anything like that. I just think Regal he's in his what, 50s? 60s?
I'm not totally sure. Come on, fact checker.
I'm gonna say late 50s,
Yeah.
early 60s.
I'd say he's probably
And
close
I
to
just-
60, in my opinion.
I'm just thinking my man is ready to hang it up. And again, kudos to you, William Regal. I applaud you and all you have done.
He is.
You
53,
have
53.
okay.
Okay.
He has made
and he debuted in
NXT
1983. So he's
Yeah.
been at it
About
for
as long as I've been alive. Yeah. It's crazy.
He has made NXT. He has been a huge part of what NXT has become.
Yeah.
Oh,
since-
yeah.
Since
You-
its inception. Yep.
Yes, when you think
And
NXT, you think of Triple H, obviously, because this is his brainchild. But
And
did you
Dusty
also
Rhodes,
think
I
of
think.
Dusty Rhodes too? Yes,
Yeah.
but you also think of William Regal.
Mm-hmm.
William Regal has been that person you have seen on that screen giving direction. Besides
He's been
Triple
the
H,
best. He's been the best authority figure WWE's had.
besides Triple
God
H, when
knows
they
how
bring
long.
in new talent, who's the other person there? William Regal.
Yeah, Regal's a
Contract
scout for the
signing.
company right now, if I'm not mistaken. Either.
Yeah, contract
Like,
signings, everything, anything with NXT. William Regal has been there, and I think, like I said, this whole week, storyline wise, you have seen him lose control because of the current champion right now, Karrion Kross. Like I said before, he is that champion that wants to smoke everybody. Like if you pipe up, bring it. Like he is that. And then you have guys like Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, hell, Finn Balor,
Yeah.
who are like, okay, you can't control that. And William Regal has lost that control.
An example of that is what was it? The night Adam Cole came back,
Yeah.
where he confronts Karrion Kross. Regal comes out here, is like, whoa, stop it. Fucking Kross tells him, shut the hell up.
Right.
I want everybody.
Yeah.
So
He told him.
essentially, the Fatal 5-Way match was made by Kross, not Regal.
Right.
Because Kross even said, I believe in that segment, you are not in control here.
Yeah.
And again, tonight there's a segment where Dunne and Kross are trying to kill each other. William Regal is yelling at him to save it for the ring, save it for the ring. And you hear Karrion yelling at Dunne, I'm going to throw you off a roof.
I did not hear that.
That was tonight?
Yeah.
I must have missed that too. Maybe
It was in one of the earlier
Yeah, it was one
earlier
of the
today
early segments.
segments.
Oh,
they
okay,
did.
okay. I must have.
He said he was going to throw him off a roof.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Sadly,
so they played
we
it up
did
even
not.
more than I thought. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
they got
spoiler,
it.
they didn't throw Dunne off a roof.
Nah,
Thank
he-
goodness.
You might as well.
They already
Yeah,
tried that on the main
but-
roster at Money in the Bank last year. It didn't go too well. So let's not.
As much as you did do, you did everything but that.
Right. After all this, we'll get more to William Regal by the end of this
Yeah,
show here, and definitely. A comedy segment aired after this where Todd Pettengill was trying to cut a video using a VHS tape. For those kids out there, a VHS tape, that little black box he was holding, was like a DVD or a movie that they used to use back in the day, and you had to physically rewind the sucker. But anyway, I digress. The video.
Yeah, those
Be
were
kind,
fun.
rewind.
Yeah, and of course,
Gosh.
I can't remember who walked up and told him that we do this all digitally now. So it was just a
Yeah.
little bit of play.
I think
on
it was
how
one of
old he
their.
was.
I think it was their backstage interviewer.
Right. The video that he was trying to play recap Mercedes Martinez defeating Xia Li in the Mae Young Classic 4 years ago, setting up the fact that Xia Li lost to Mercedes Martinez, setting up the story for tonight's match. So I thought that was good storytelling. That match was up next with Xia Li actually defeats Mercedes Martinez here. So what did not happen during the Mae Young Classic 4 years ago, with more experience, both competitors had a better match, in my opinion. And, of course, the opposite person won. So I thought that was some good storytelling, which kind of shocked me a little bit. I thought Mercedes Martinez was easily going to be the winner here. But there are rumors she could go up to the main roster. Maybe not.
I hope not.
I hope not, too.
I really hope not.
But yeah, they obviously are trying to get the group of T and Shaw over, too, because after this match, I think there was a scuffle. Boa, the guy from the group, threw Xia Li the chair.
Kazawa.
Yeah, and she was about to use it. Martinez kicked her legs out from under her. Martinez grabbed the chair and hit both Boa and Xia Li with it. Xia Li's entrance effects showed up, and Mei Ying appeared in her throne on the ramp. I'm assuming she's the leader of T and Shaw.
I believe so.
Clearly.
If there ever was a leader,
there's one here.
If there ever was a leader.
What I was looking up when we were doing the pay-per-view, Xia Li beat someone for being disrespectful to Mei Ying, the master. So
Okay. She and Martinez stared each other down until Xia Li grabbed Martinez by the neck and tossed her off the ramp into the barricade. So I don't know if this is going to just set up maybe further the feud here with T and Shaw, or
I think so. I honestly, here's my hope. This isn't a main roster call-up. This is just going to further the line, their story they have going on here. This is a good way for you to get this new group over. And a good way for you to build up Martinez some more, too.
Yeah, 100%. Agreed. After this, Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher cut a promo. They said in 48 hours, they'd show everyone how dangerous they are in that tornado tag match against the Grizzled Young Veterans on NXT. Looking forward to that. That should be a great main event for that show. Absolutely.
Got something to say about this shit.
You do?
Yes.
We'll say it. Don't hold back.
So Tommaso Ciampa's cutting the promo.
Okay.
All of a sudden, Thatcher shoots up out of his seat like a rocket was up his ass. Like, it went from 0 to 1,000 real quick. And it was so funny because Thatcher stands up real quick, and then like 2 seconds later, Tommaso pops up. Like, Tommaso had no idea it was happening. Thatcher just goes, he's sitting there just quietly and staring, and then all of a sudden, he just stands up and starts screaming at the camera.
Tuesday.
Yeah, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
And the camera immediately follows him, and then, like you said,
kind of like that.
2 seconds later, Ciampa pops up, like, "Oh shit, we're supposed to stand up." Okay.
Yeah. I told Damon, I was like, "It's like everything with Thatcher goes from 0 to I'm gonna kill you." It's
real fucking quick.
But he's done this the whole time. Like, you remember ago when they were cutting the promo sitting in the back and they're sitting there in the chairs, all of a sudden Thatcher stands up, throws his chair at the damn door, and then Ciampa's like, oh yeah, gets up, throws his chair at the door.
Oh, they've done that. That's like either this is the second or third time that something like that's kind of happened where they're just like out of sync just by like seconds.
I think it's on purpose.
Oh, I think
it's on purpose. I think it's because
I know it is, but
you see you got Ciampa, who's the quiet intensity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But his complete opposite is Thatcher. And it's like Thatcher is intensity incarnate. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just that whole he's that ticking time bomb with a real short fucking fuse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And when he goes off, he just goes off and he doesn't say much, but it's always involving severe bodily harm when he says it.
Yeah.
And then right after that, you got Ciampa who comes in with the cool, methodical talking. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then the whole time, you got Thatcher standing next to him, seething.
Seething for just kill somebody right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a great match.
Stable.
Good build up to this, and hopefully it pays off on Tuesday. We're going to find out.
Oh, it will.
It should,
the grizzled young vets, they are going to beat
Yeah.
the hell out of each other, and
no rules. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
A tornado tag match.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was your main event either.
Oh, I think.
Oh yeah, I think it will be.
Yeah,
especially after the night's main event, them fuckers gonna need the day off.
It's gonna be like tonight's main event though, where we do go in. It was going to be good. So definitely check out NXT on Tuesday if you don't have plans to do so already.
Sorry, I just had to say that.
No, you're fine.
That whole thing caught me. I was like, I jumped because I wasn't expecting it. So I was like, "Oh, all right, get there." Like,
okay,
calm down there, toothless buddy. Calm down.
I ain't got nothing to do with this, Thatcher. Don't talk to me like that. Real quick, too. Did any of you see the shirt Thatcher had on?
No.
So it says Ciampa and Thatcher on it, right?
Oh yeah.
I swear to you, it's the picture from their match where Thatcher get his teeth when his tooth got knocked out. It's Ciampa holding his face. I'm assuming,
Interesting.
and I'm like, why
That's
do
a
you
re-
have?
Just to show
Yeah.
his teeth, maybe?
I guess.
Or are they building to a Thatcher turning on Ciampa thing?
No, I just
No,
think he likes that picture.
I mean, maybe
I
so.
mean,
I hope
It's
they don't
a
bring that
merch
team
shirt.
up yet. Yeah.
No, I hope
Let's
not.
let's not do that yet. I
No,
mean,
don't DIY. Don't DIY this thing yet.
Well, to their credit, DIY was together for a while, but this is still new.
Yeah.
So let's wait a little bit. Next up, we had a great promo from the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase discussing the
Oh, my
history
goodness.
and the legacy of the $1 Million Championship and building this ladder matchup. This was one of the best promos I've seen WWE or any company produce in a long time, where Ted is running down the history of and why this belt means so much and why the legacy of that belt is so important. I would have bought this pay-per-view on that promo alone had they aired
Listen
that
to
last
me.
week.
He got the belt over. Normally, a belt is designed to help get the talent over.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. The talent has to get over to a certain extent to get the belt and to feel deserving of that belt. But there's rarely a time where the belt gets over before the talent does.
Right.
And Ted promo about that belt put the belt over.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. This whole thing was absolutely incredible, including the match itself. We were
Man.
talking about how the opening match and the main event was two of the greatest matches of the night. This was at least second, if not third, on the show for sure.
This match was one of those that I'm tapping out.
No, I'm not.
so before we continue with this, I had to look it up.
Okay.
Okay.
It is in the shop.
That shirt?
It's a Tommaso Ciampa Timothy Thatcher shirt. I don't know if it's got Ciampa's name on the top, Thatcher's on the bottom. Picture kind of essentially framed between the two ropes, and it's Ciampa looking out. Thatcher's just got that missing tooth, just looking like wide-eyed.
It looks so fucking creepy.
It is, but yeah, $27.99.
I want that shirt.
Well, there you go.
It only goes up to 4X though. Fuck me.
Wow.
I need that 5. I need the
That's
5.
That shirt is real. All right, anyway,
You're fine.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine.
I was curious.
Go right ahead. Yeah. After this, we had the $1 Million Championship ladder match: LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes. I want to bust Figure 4 online or Wrestling Observer here because their article says this was the worst ladder match in TakeOver history. I don't buy that
Excuse the fuck out of me,
at
Dave.
all. Well, he's not the one writing this, but at the same
I don't give
time,
a shit. It's his fucking show. God damn it!
Right.
The fuck you say, Dave?
I mean,
Shut
I
up.
can understand like there was a lot of spots where they were intentionally setting up the ladders and stuff like this, but every ladder match does that. But
You
I'm
want to talk
sorry.
about doing
Yeah,
shit
this-
intentionally?
Yeah.
My God.
We'll get into it come the main event, but there's that spot with Cole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was
So
yeah.
if they don't shit on that spot alone in the fucking article, and they're shitting on this as the worst ladder match in TakeOver,
I mean, I'll be interested.
Dave needs to fire the fucking writer.
Well, you know, we'll talk about that spot when we get there. But go ahead.
Again, I'm not going to go through all the details of every match, but at the same time, I'd be interested to hear what Wrestling Observer's reasoning was to why they thought that. So we'll see. But personally, I think between the three of us, we enjoyed this match.
They're entitled to their opinion, despite how wrong it is.
The ending to this match, though, didn't see coming. We all thought Cameron Grimes had this in the bag.
Yes.
But what happened to him? But here's the thing. I proposed to you two when we were at work and we were talking about this. I said I could honestly see LA Knight winning it and it becoming a thing where he loses all his money. And he goes from that whole rags to riches back to rags story and blames it all on LA Knight.
Okay. And if that happens, I think it'd be good. But I ain't going to lie, though. When I first saw this finish, I thought the finish was good. So let's go over that real quick first. Cameron Grimes grabbed the gold ladder in the ring. Climbed the gold ladder in the ring. LA Knight tried to powerbomb him out of the ring, but Grimes turned it into a hurricanrana. Grimes shouted to the moon, and he nearly reached the championship. But LA Knight pushed the ladder over, sending Grimes onto a bridge that was formed where they set up the two ladders and with the ropes and stuff on the outside, sent him crashing through the ladder, and LA Knight then unhooked the belt to win the $1 Million Championship. I thought the finish was great, but I'm not going to lie. When I first saw this, I thought maybe it wasn't the right call because I felt that, and I believe Damon even mentioned it, they've been building and building and building for weeks that this was going to be
Cameron and Ted.
Right. So that to me, it made more sense to do Cameron Grimes. But if they do what Brandon's saying, I think you could still get some miles out of this with LA Knight as well. So.
Oh, yeah.
Too,
like it was LA Knight at least has the physical look of what.
Not even that, but his whole character,
the attitude,
yeah. And two, like we discussed afterwards as well too. Cameron didn't really need this. He really didn't. This, LA Knight, they do this with every new acquisition they get. You have to give that acquisition something, some reason for people to buy into them more.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is LA Knight's reason to buy into him more.
Cameron Grimes is already over. He's already over.
Cameron Grimes is already over.
Yeah. But let's be real. LA Knight is, like, I think they said on commentary, is your more ideal $1 million man.
Yep.
He is, really, based on the way,
Because Cameron Grimes, with what Ted is, most famous for, I don't see Cameron Grimes doing that kind of stuff.
No.
LA Knight, on the other hand, I could see, hey, bounce this ball 10 times for, like $50 and then kick it out on the 9th.
Yeah.
I can see LA Knight doing that, not so much Grimes.
I can still see this going.
Get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it with that. And plus, it was with me as like, because like I said, the expectation of going into this was Grimes is going to win.
Right.
They kind of built that story, and I feel like LA Knight was just obviously wasn't just thrown into this, but was brought into this feud just a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Also leading credence is like, oh, he's just there to feed the Grimes for this.
Here's the thing too. We and as wrestling fans, this is something we've lost sight of. We're always focused on, oh, this is the guy they wanted to be. This is the guy they wanted to be. That when we're genuinely surprised or we get that, yeah, pay attention to this hand. Don't watch what this hand's doing.
True.
Yeah.
So we're so focused on, well, this is obviously who it's going to be. When this happens, you're like,
that ain't the right call. Yeah,
exactly.
And that's not the way you should look at it all the time.
No. I think that's what it was. We were so like, no, it's got to be Cameron Grimes, right? This all makes sense. But in reality, they were telling you who makes sense from the jump.
Right. If they played it that way, there's also a possibility because I'm not saying NXT does this, but sometimes the main roster will do this thing where even though it's obvious it should go one way, they'll pull that trick swerve out of the nowhere. And that way, and that just to surprise people, and it's not the right call. I hope they did not do that.
Swerve. I don't think this was a swerve. I don't think it
was either.
I think it was legitimate.
No, I think it was a swerve, but
planned.
It was a planned swerve. It wasn't just we're gonna.
That's fine.
I don't think it was a on the fly type plan there.
No,
they knew they were gonna do this with LA Knight. Mm-hmm. But to give the fans expectations of Cameron Grimes,
and that's
they
what I mean.
Waited until LA Knight. In that case, that's completely fine. Great call. Mm-hmm. And I do like on the concept of LA Knight being the legacy carrier. Mm-hmm. I actually like the more I thought about thinking through it up until this point. Yeah, LA Knight would make a great $1 million man.
And they gave you every reason to believe that LA Knight could make a great. But it was just so over the moon. Mm-hmm. Or to the moon. This is so they gave you the whole Cameron, But look right here. No, okay.
Cameron's also going to serve very well by chasing the title, as the babyface will do. Plus, there's not to say that Cameron's never going to win it. They're just going to not do that yet because I still think there's a lot of mileage you could get out of doing Cameron Grimes learning how to be $1 million person for that matter, let alone champion, and learning from Ted eventually if he gets the title then. But we'll see where they go with it. I have more faith in NXT than I do the main roster.
I give them more of a lenient, okay, I'll see where this is going.
Mm-hmm. I think it works. I think it works.
I think it will as long as they tell that story. And if that's the case, we'll see where they go.
Yeah, initial gut reaction was like, hold on, wait a minute, this is not where I wanted this to go.
Right.
But thinking about it more and then listening to these arguments is like, okay, let's do this. Let's see where this goes.
There was no way he was getting up off that ladder.
But nobody wants to stop
and that's what I loved about that spot is like, okay, this is definitely a match-ending spot.
Yeah, he wasn't getting up.
No, and going into it, it's like, oh wow, Cameron's not winning. Oh, okay.
When he hit that ladder, that was your realization of, well, he definitely ain't fucking winning.
Yeah, no, and I would have been even like if they did give it to Cameron after that spot, I probably would have been.
I'd have been more mad. I'd have been more mad.
I would have been furious. Like, how do you do that spot and still have him win?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad they ended it after that. Absolutely. Yep. Whoever took that spot needed to lose. And they booked that accurately. Yeah, after this match, we had Todd Pettengill backstage trying to advertise the WWE shop, but was interrupted by Hit Row that plugged their new song, Now You Know. I missed this segment. Anything worth talking about on it or no?
It's a fucking comedy song.
Okay.
They're making fun of Todd for being old.
Well, as they were kind of doing throughout this night here, but yeah.
Yes, because here's the thing. After they were like, you got something to listen to this song. He's like, oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. And then everybody just looked at him like, it just bounced out of frame. And Tom was just standing there like, wait, what'd I say?
Well, yeah. It's definitely playing all the old fart.
I mean, it got Hit Row. It got Hit Row on the pay-per-view. So,
yeah.
And they've got brighter times ahead of them as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't do be the new Top Dollar. Is a big dude.
Oh, big.
And he's funny.
I don't know if Brandon, you were on that show, but when it was him and Killian Dane, he just flat foot standing,
dropped Drake Maverick on the apron.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, this man's tall. I saw that. I was like,
he's a big dude.
Christ, he's the big.
Yeah.
Like when he came in the frame, they had to back up.
Oh yeah.
I was like, damn. That's a Top Dollar's a big
wide heads, you know.
Yeah, they was like, hold up.
Just me, or is he kind of giving me? Or he gives me like Suge Knight vibes.
Yeah,
not the murdering vibes, but like
not the setting up Tupac vibes. What?
Yeah, nothing like that. Just he seems like the one, and obviously it's supposed to be. I'm assuming Isaiah Scott, who's the bankroller of the day.
But here's the thing: when you have a group
gives
of
me
people
that stuff like that
who can stand out on their own. Every group has one or two, or even all of them, who at some point stand on their own feet
and break away,
and break away. And I think Top Dollar would be the first one to break away from him, because he has good charisma.
Who's the Genetti of this group?
Oh,
that's always.
I don't know. I don't know.
There's another guy in this group. I can't
but he can go. He can go though.
Yeah. We'll see where they go. It just depends on longer. The more we get to see them, we'll determine who the Genetti is.
But in ring
that would be a great episode. Look at current tag teams who.
Oh yeah,
who would be up? Who would you assume would be the Genetti in this tag?
Who's the Genetti in the group? Yeah. All right. Anyway,
we all found out who the Genetti for Heavy Machinery was.
Oh yeah, well, obviously that was more the company who did that, but yeah.
Still poor Tucker.
Yeah, poor Tucker. Justice for Tucker.
I like Tucker.
Yeah, hashtag justice for Tucker. NXT Women's Championship. Raquel Gonzalez defeated Ember Moon here. The ending of the match came when Moon gained some separation with a jawbreaker, followed up with a diving codebreaker. The Eclipse followed after that, but Dakota Kai put Gonzalez's foot on the ropes. This brought out Shotzi Blackheart, who appeared to chase off Dakota Kai, sending her into the staging area. Gonzalez fled to the apron where Moon climbed the ropes and hit a tornado DVT on the ramps, which looked like it sucked. Ember Moon rode Gonzalez into the ring where Gonzalez kicked out at 2. She went for an Eclipse again, but Gonzalez caught her and hit Snake Eyes in the corner. The one-arm powerbomb followed this up for the win. So we talked about how this was mostly where Raquel Gonzalez had to win one on her own. She got a little help from Dakai, putting her foot on the ropes to save her from losing the belt. But after that, she pretty much had to do this on her own. So, like we talked about with Roman Reigns.
Shotzi came out and beat. When she grabbed her the first time, Dakota Kai took off so quick.
Yeah, she didn't touch her.
No.
The first shot didn't even register. She was like, and I'm out.
Yeah, and I'm out of here. So smart on her part. But yeah, this to me is like Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Every now and then, Roman has to win a match on his own to establish that he is as tough and as big as bad as he says he is. Raquel did that here for the most part, outside of a little bit of help on the outside. So good to see.
Well, like I was saying right after the match, yes, she took the Eclipse and had Dakota put her foot on the ropes. She still took that DDT to the stage afterwards, which, let's be real, could finish a match on its own.
Absolutely.
Yes. But
So
the caveat here was
getting
it
that.
took too long to get her back in the
Into
ring.
the ring. Yeah, she's such a big. Not I wouldn't not big fat, but she's a bigger girl, so it's harder to get her into the ring. So it took a little too much time to be able to kick out. Yeah.
The mid Ember is kind of on the smaller side.
And we even talked too during this that we eventually, because the roles used to be reversed, where Dakota Kai was on top and Raquel was her muscle. Now it's more
Dakota
like
brought her in to help her with, I think,
right.
I want to say Tegan Knox.
Right, and now the roles are reversed, where Dakota is kind of like Raquel's Jey Uso, where she's always doing her dirty work. So eventually what this is probably going to boil down to is one is going to get jealous of the other, and it's probably going to lead to a feud between the two, which could be very good if they do it correctly. So we'll see where they go, but as for now, that's probably a little ways down the line. After this, we had another Todd Pettengill comedy segment, which I actually really like because he was about to play Karate Fighters, which if you were back in the Attitude Era or the 94, 95 era where this all took place. His opponent with these toys was Dexter Lumis. Todd Pettengill asked how the women were treating Lumis these days. So Lumis broke the game and smashed Pettengill's piece in his hand. Looked like he was going to throw it at him, actually.
Yeah, he was going to throw it at his ass.
So Dexter won the game.
Yeah, so Dexter won.
I mean, Dexter won.
None of that ever. Whatever Eric said, forget that. Dexter did none of that. Dexter just won. Okay, Dexter.
If you call that a win, this is like your typical WWE main roster screwy finish because there was no winner here. But
a win's a win. Because I don't know what the fuck the game is, but I'm assuming you just have.
It's like Rock'em Robots.
Yeah, one of them will fly off when you lose.
Yeah. So Todd lost because his guy fell off the stand.
I guess
he fell off. No. What are you talking about?
He got picked up off the thing. He didn't fall off. Not Dexter's eye.
Okay.
No, Mr. Loomis.
Todd.
Mr. Loomis, listen to me.
His guy.
His guy fell off
by a means.
Yeah.
Off the stand,
but you're not supposed to touch it though. That's cheating.
Again,
the rules are you're supposed to turn the knob.
Again, Eric's views on Mr. Loomis's actions are his and his alone.
Yeah,
I didn't see none of that. I didn't see that. Okay, right on. You're going to end up
because like I said, I've never played the game. I didn't even know what the fuck it was when it came on.
You're gonna be in a box some damn way.
I'm gonna take Indy Hartwell from him, so you better watch it there, Dexter.
Okay, Eric. Well, like I said, I'm assuming the point of the game is the point of the game is to remove your opponent's guy from their stand. Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
And that is not what happened.
That is what happened. That is exactly what happened.
But again,
okay, then Dexter fucking won.
All right,
Todd lost. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
Todd
care.
lost.
Mr. Pettengill took an L.
I'm just across my screen, left and right.
I'm just saying, Indy, call your boy. Anyway.
Okay, that's on you. You gonna.
You might have to fight Candice for that one.
That's anyway.
Hey, Dexter. No, Poppy hurt.
Yeah.
Poppy hurt her, and Candice had issues with it. So Eric.
Index, don't mess up with it. Don't mess with Index.
That shit was so that's the best shit ever.
Yeah, Index. After this, we got a promo package for the Great American Bash, which will now be on NXT on Tuesday, July 6th, following Independence Day here. They're kind of taking a page out of AEW's book here, where they're booking Big Show during the week on their main television show. So hopefully it pays off for NXT. It's been working for AEW, so we'll see what they do. And AEW's got a bunch of these lined up for July as well. So I'm not calling it a reaction to what AEW is doing, but hopefully it's just smart strategy. Maybe kind of taking some stuff that's working and trying to get it.
I think that's what it is.
It is what it is because it's from the business standpoint. You have pay-per-views only during your WWE as a whole has the main roster pay-per-views every month.
Right.
NXT only does it during the main 4.
Right. So it's because it takes place in between this and SummerSlam. So
so it's essentially a small pay-per-view-ish type show.
I just don't remember a show like this NXT's done before. So this is the first one I think that they've done in between two big shows on takeovers, right?
I'd have to do further research.
I don't think they've actually called it something like the Great American Bash. If they did do a bigger show, it was just NXT, I think, but I could be wrong.
Didn't they do something like this before?
I don't know. I don't recall.
With another pay-per-view?
Maybe they did. Maybe I'm wrong. Halloween Havoc, I know they did not too a year or two ago. But again, I don't remember it being on the NXT show during the week. But I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Maybe David can find something. So we'll see. We'll move on while he's looking that up, though. They ran down next week's lineup on NXT as well. Then we got the main event, the NXT Championship Fatal 5-Way. Karrion Kross defending his title against Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Johnny Gargano, and Pete Dunne. Again, this was an insane spot fest match from start to finish, but had a ton of great action in it from top to bottom. These guys beat the crap out of each other.
Yes.
You name it, they hit it.
For real. And here's the question. Who got the worst beating out of all of them? For me, it's a toss-up between Dunne and O'Reilly.
O'Reilly took a heck of a beating. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They all took shots. I mean, everybody from Karrion Kross all the way.
Yes, last year they did Great American Bash 2 nights. So July 1st was July 1st was night 1 and July 8th was night 2, and those were both on a Wednesday.
Okay, so they did this kind of like the Fight for the Fallen thing or whatever, Fighter Fest, where they took a week off. Okay.
Yes. So it was on a NXT.
Okay. My bad. I'm wrong on that one. But yeah, I'm glad to see them doing that, though. I think that's a good idea for especially.
So you could say, in fact, AEW took it from NXT.
Yeah. I don't remember who was doing it for, but yeah, you might be right about that. Okay, so yeah, like I said, this match was great. It's hard. I mean, this thing has like 10, 20 or paragraphs.
Yeah,
we won't go through the whole thing.
Wait, we're already on the main event of this already?
Yeah. We're talking about
this was a short show.
Yeah, well, there's only 5 matches to go over.
They gave this
main
event
a long time.
Yeah, it was good 30, 35 minutes somewhere in there. But yeah, this was great. I'll just go through the ending here, which we tend to do most of the time. Anyway, Dunne dispatched his opponents with kicks before catching a low blow and going for the finger break spot. Kross broke it up with a double Doomsday Saito. The cross jacket followed, but Dunne snapped Kross's fingers to break out of the hold. Gargano hit a one final beat on Dunne, but Kross locked on the cross jacket on Gargano. Gargano jackknifed over for a cradle for a 2 count, but Kross maintained the hold. Cole hit the last shot on Kross, but was subsequently chopped down by O'Reilly, who hit the diving knee on Kross. Cole broke up the cover with a super kick. O'Reilly avoided the last shot and locked on the heel hook. After a long fight, Kross locked the cross jacket on O'Reilly while O'Reilly still had the hold locked on Adam Cole. He would not relent the hold, and O'Reilly faded and relinquished the heel hook and passed out to Karrion Kross's submission as the referee had to stop the match because O'Reilly had passed out. So, great match. What's that?
He faded to black.
Yeah, literally.
So before the according to what I found, the time on this. Mm-hmm. Anyone want to take a guess before I reveal?
Well, I've got it here, so yeah, you could.
Oh well, fuck you.
Sorry,
what they say?
26 minutes, 25 seconds.
This says 15 seconds. We're close enough.
Oh,
it's still under 30 minutes.
Oh wow,
fucking Jesus.
Yeah, there was a lot in this.
I was about to say there was a lot in this fucking match.
There's a lot.
All we could say is go and watch it because it was great top to bottom. I mean,
us describing it is not going to do it justice.
One of the best, in my opinion, NXT Takeover main events that they've had in a long time.
You could do it with 5 people though.
Yeah. It took
5 people.
It should be good. But yeah, I mean, basically, if anything you could think of what NXT would deliver in spades, this match did it.
The double super kick spot.
Now, obviously, we talked, or at least I mentioned, that there's going to be some people not thrilled with the finish, but I think it's the right call.
Yeah, it makes
we all should have known Karrion was going to win, but
it makes sense.
Yeah,
like listen, if a heel were to have a submission in, right? Mm-hmm. The moment Karrion would have grabbed them, they would have let go of that move.
Yeah, to save their own hide.
Because to save their own ass.
Yeah.
It made sense for O'Reilly to go, no, he's on the verge of tapping. If I can hold out, he taps, I win.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Plus, so again, even without O'Reilly's his submission in, he still didn't technically.
Right. No, he didn't tap. Right.
He went out though. He went out.
Technical submission, blacked out, which is always, as far as I can recall, always been called going the hero's way out.
Yeah,
but at the same time, we can't say this is a cop out either because the way they book things in WWE, in main roster and NXT lately, a pass out is as good as a submission. He lost. So they can't say that.
He can't say I didn't lose.
Right.
No, he lost.
He lost.
Oh yeah.
And again, I've reiterated this on other videos as well. I'm interested to see where they go with Karrion Kross now, because they pretty much just beat all of his challengers in one match. Now they all did not get beat by Karrion, but they were in the match and lost. So I'm interested to see how they do. It all depends on how you do it. But some of these guys could challenge for the title. We'll have to wait and see what they do.
But you've seen everybody in there could have a fantastic one-on-one match with him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you don't need the whole "well, you didn't pin me" type shit, because nobody got pinned.
At least say it with better wording. Like
Admit it.
Yeah.
It was a war. You went to war, but you also went to war with 4 other people. That's not your shot. That's not what you want. You want a shot at Karrion one-on-one with no one else to prove that you could beat him.
Just don't come out and say I didn't lose. Don't say that. Just say I was never pinned or something like that. When you say I never lose, it makes you look like
I wasn't the one who passed out.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not the one that lost. I lost because of there's 3 or 4 other people in this
Exactly.
match.
Yeah.
I lost because of that.
Right. So hopefully they'll book it properly. If they choose to go with one of these other 3 guys or 4 guys, they may even do Riley for all I know.
Do Cole, go with Cole again, because that was my thing. Nothing against O'Reilly, Gargano, and Dunne, but the big 2 that like if I was
Adam Cole,
out of those 5 guys to win it, it would have been Kross or Cole. Just because of the way Cole came back, took out O'Reilly, Gargano, and Dunne in one night. Cole is your. I'm not saying he's next in line for the title, but he should be your next contender.
Yeah. Regardless of whether you like this finish itself, Karrion Kross winning is the right call, because he's only had the belt since WrestleMania weekend. So,
and he's still undefeated,
and he's still good.
Right. So hopefully they'll keep it for a bit, but we'll see where they go with it. But I have faith, like we said, in NXT to at least make more of an attempt than the main roster does at making things make sense going forward. So we'll see what they do. To end this show, though, we had another segment that was tacked on to the end of this, which felt a little out of place, but at the same time, it made sense for you to tune in on Tuesday. So I like that. We had an interviewer who caught up with General Manager William Regal and asked about the events of the show. He said
what he thought of the show.
Yeah, what he thought of the show. Yeah. He said he'd been GM for 7 years and he's never seen so much bedlam. That was the word he used. And he said, quote, "I think it's time for a change." He looked like he had tears rolling down his face, and it looked like he just really had no answers as to how to maintain control of the show. So, as Brandon called, it looks like we may be getting a new person to run the show.
Can't say it felt out of place. If anything, it felt like one of those.
Well, I didn't mean the story. I meant the segment at the end of the show.
Yeah. That she went and found him and asked him what was going on.
But like I said, it's set up Tuesday, so it makes you want to watch Tuesday. So yeah.
If you think about it in a sense, though, you've seen him since this whole thing has started. He's been.
We've seen him throughout the show, not having control over his main event competitors.
And that's what it is. Just over these 4 guys.
Yeah.
And like it's like, or these 5 guys. I'm sorry. And it's like, he can't control these guys.
Like he's worried he can't control everything at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could just see it beat him down. Ever since it started, you see him more disheveled, top collars undone. His face looks, he's stressed out.
And the tears may be just him sweating bullets.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that.
It's like, what do you do here?
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, though. Yeah, that's my question. If William Regal is not general manager anymore before too much longer, who is going to make it? Is it Hunter? I mean, he'd be one guy who wouldn't be a pushover.
I would love to see that.
But it can't be somebody who's going to be pushed over.
No.
And Regal's not one of them guys either, but...
Regal, I mean, he had brass knuckles on his fucking desk.
Yeah, I was about to say brass knuckles on his desk.
Yeah. But if they go with Hunter, I'm not saying Hunter should always get into matches with talent, but that leaves a better opportunity and possibility of having Hunter get into a feud with like someone like Kross. Not necessarily beating Kross, but Kross is so out of control with wanting to fight everyone. Triple H has got to put him in his place.
And that's the problem, though, I have with it, too. Every time we've seen on the main roster when Hunter's been in charge as the authority or something like that, it's always what's in the best interest of Hunter or him getting involved with somebody on the Raw. I don't think if he does this here, he needs to do that. I think he needs to be like Regal and not wrestle anybody and stay out of it and be completely unbiased. Don't do the heel GM stuff. I don't think because that'll ruin NXT.
I don't think you can get Hunter as a GM, evil,
maybe not.
Heel GM here, because
if he's babyface Hunter,
NXT universe, yeah, if they respect him way too much.
I hope.
Yeah.
I just don't want them
And I'm
to
not saying
ruin it
him
with main roster stuff.
Well, and that was my idea. I guess I could have explained it better. I'm not saying like he was gonna go in and like heal it all up as GM, but like like say Kross is getting out of control. Triple H is
stay at his ground.
Won't put you in.
I'm the
could actually like deliver a move without breaking a kneecap.
Essentially like I'm the goddamn game. Okay,
but
exactly. So like Kross gets out of control.
Like I've done this.
Trips just lays him out one night because he got too out of control with the fucking pedigree.
Right.
Yeah, like I've done this. Like
hold on, Kross. I'm in charge. Fuck you. Take a pedigree.
Right.
Like put some respect on my name.
Exactly. That's what I was kind of going with. I guess not necessarily have a match with the talent, but like he could actually,
lay the law down.
That would put him in their place by hitting him with a pedigree.
You don't think that man who's built this would want? Not to say he'd win. Hell, you could have Karrion Kross beat him for all I give a shit.
Oh yeah.
But to have that moment of where like master meets student, you know what I mean? The man who created this platform for Karrion Kross is now the one that Karrion's like
put him in his place. Yeah. I mean, that could be good. And to David's credit, too, he mentioned something that which I don't know if they would do or even if he'd be interested, but Samoa Joe is out there. The
Joe would be another one who could just deliver an Ergonagi.
What about him being general manager? Now, from what we understand, Joe wants to continue to wrestle, but we could be wrong about that, and maybe you get somebody like, one of them free agents out there. Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd be.
I would know.
I'm just saying there's options, but Samoa Joe was a name that
like you said too. We were talking about who could replace Regal. You said Sean. Sean's there.
Yeah, Sean.
Sean just deliver road super.
I got a feeling Sean will get destroyed by Kross, and Kross wouldn't care. But
that's true. You would need someone a little bit in the bigger stature.
Right.
Joe or Hunter.
At least somebody. Yeah, I think Hunter could pull it off, even though Hunter is not looking the youngest anymore at times either. But
here's the thing. You can put Hunter in a GM situation, and Hunter could be the reason and bring Joe out. Bring Joe back.
You could.
You know what I mean?
If they wanted to come back, I mean, I'm sure they'd be willing to do it. It just all depends on what Joe wants to do and all that sort of stuff as well. But definitely
and what
looks
WWE doctors will let him do.
And we may get one of these storylines too, where William Regal, even though he's doubting his general manager skills right now,
he may never leave. Yeah,
he may decide, you know what? No, I'm not taking. I'm staying. You can't make me leave. So who knows? We'll see what they do. But it's very possible that he may just stick around, and all this is for a moot point.
Triple H tripped out.
Yeah, exactly.
Pep talks, and he's like, you're right, Hunter. And, he goes out there, he lays down the law to Karrion Kross. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So we'll see what they do. But I think overall, I thought this was a pretty good show. Some nitpicks here and there, but we can say that about any show. But for the most part, this was a very entertaining takeover. So, but the real question here is, guys, what did you guys think about NXT Takeover in your house? Comment down below. Let us know. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications about when we put up new content here on this channel. And until our next video, guys, take care.
Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right, I swear to God that I can drop it, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable.